now from fight night. Considering it's in London, it's in your backyard. Can you just describe the emotions you're feeling right now?
I'm just crazy excited about this. Like, over the moon excited. I got family flying in today, tomorrow. Friends, like it's just popping off. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's excited to come down. And that energy just travels, man. And the final destination is me. It comes in, I soak it all up, and then I let it all out in the cage. So I feel sorry for Cyborg.
Did you ever think it was going to be 3 years that you was going to be away from competing in the UK?
To be fair, I couldn't have put a number on it. I didn't think it was going to be so soon that I would have got to the States in the first place. So it kind of feels like it's kind of happened the wrong way around, if there's a right and wrong way around. I got out to the States pretty quickly after a couple of fights, and you know, the way I was moving, I didn't even expect to come back now. So it's a positive to be back here.
You're fighting Cyborg Santo, sorry. When did you find out about the short notice change of appointment?
I believe it was about, I don't know, a month and a half out or something like that. Both short guys, bald heads, same thing to me. It's just a different name. That's all it is.
So has that affected anything in terms of preparation going into this fight?
I believe I'm the more dangerous one with regards to styles. I can get 100, 200, 300 people to replicate what Cyborg does. He's going to find it hard to replicate what I do, if anybody. So it doesn't change what I do in the gym.
Kimbo Slice was obviously supposed to headline the card. I know you've had some interaction with him in the past. Can you just talk about how he'll be remembered and maybe some personal stories that from your personal interaction with him?
The guy's a lovely guy, man. He was just a really nice guy. The first time I met him, it was just nothing but love. And again, I've met many different guys that have established themselves in whatever it is. And sometimes they don't like to necessarily show their love because like they want to be the one that the attention comes straight. He didn't care about any of that, man. He was very supportive of what I do, excited about seeing me again on another show. Just very welcoming, very lovely, loving person. You can see he's a family person as well. For people on the outside that didn't know him, I know it's very, very difficult because of his background and why he's famous. But seriously, if ever there's a saying, "Don't judge a book by its cover," he's the perfect example of that. He's rough-looking, very big guy, but that big friendly giant man. Like he was a lovely person, and will be missed in the industry.
Well, your opponent, we spoke a few weeks ago, and you kind of mentioned that there was a lot of naysayers who were kind of criticising the level of opponents you faced since you came to Bellator.
Yeah.
And you kind of said to me, well, after this fight, this is someone who's had a vast amount of experience, fought some of the best in MMA. Do you think a win over Santos will kind of silence those doubters? And also, where do you think it will put you in the title picture?
I think I've been in the title picture a long time. Just regards to people wanting to see me fight the big names and so on and so forth. I just needed to be ready in myself. As I said earlier, it was very quick that I came from just stepping into the game to being in a big show in the States, and I feel I needed that experience time myself. I feel like I've had it now. I'm ready to go against anybody. But as you say, Cyborg is a very credible name. I'm sure it's going to change a lot of people's minds about how they feel, but at the same time, with people's minds change for and against all the time. And again, my style doesn't help because I make experienced MMA fighters look like babies, look like newbies, and I don't feel it's going to change on Saturday. As experienced as he is, he's never faced a beast like me. And it's as simple as that. So I think there'll still be doubters after it. I think I can win the title. I could be undefeated, 50-0, and there's still going to be doubters, so I don't really care.
The card's going to be broadcast on Spike TV and Channel 5 prime time for the first time in the UK. As a British fighter, what does that mean to you to know that there'll be so many new eyeballs on you for the first time?
Just personally, I've always been a person that says, the more you tell me that there's more eyes watching, the crazier I am. I just think of different ways of finishing a person and practice crazy. Just like right now, I'm excited. I just want to be in the cage. And hearing about Channel 5, especially in being in my hometown, it's just amazing for me to be able to feel that. and I can't wait.
Mike, okay, Ronnie, you obviously come from a family of well-known martial artists. What's it like, the influence you have as it's grown over the last 3 years on the younger generation that your family teach? How have you found that? How do they get buzzing, and what kind of things they say to you? How do you interact with them now?
They're all excited. Equally as excited. It just adds like I've done, I teach clubs, I teach kids, adults, and anytime we even just run a small event, it could just be a competition or a competition that I used to do back in the day. It doesn't get the same kind of publicity as this does now, but I come back to the club and everyone was buzzing. So the fact that I've had students contact me, I saw you on Channel 5, like, I saw the advert and this, and they're already just like going nuts, and I already know the influence just small events have on our clubs and how inspired they get. And this event, it's just going to blow their minds, man. They're going to be telling everybody in school. They're all going to want to come down and see. All going to want to be a part of it. I think it's good for just martial artists all around.
Yeah, definitely. Also, everyone's asked this question. And it's obvious. Look, in previous fights, you made pros look like amateurs. Cyborg's a name, has experience, but apart from that, is there anything he brings to the table that bothers you in the slightest?
He just brings a body for me to put down.
Yeah.
That is his job, to make sure he turns up in the cage, and then I do the rest. He can do whatever he wants from there. It has nothing to do with him after that point. The second he steps into the cage, it's an MVP show.
And for anyone who thinks that you're being arrogant about like saying it's the MVP show,
they'll see in the fight. They'll see in the fight. If I can come off this show and they're not talking about me, then I was being arrogant. And if I come off the show as I normally do, I usually open the show. It's going to be a bit weird that I'm not opening the show. We open the show because I bring that kind of excitement, I bring that kind of buzz every single time.
What about all your training buddies at Shoot? Obviously, Alex Reed's on the card as well. How's the vibe been this time around in the build-up to this event?
All it does is add to the excitement. Our guys are constantly going out and fighting, like week in, week out, month in, month out. We've always got loads of young guys coming through. But the same thing I said about running the schools that I run. In the club, it's exactly the same thing. They're just like they're equally as excited. They're all coming down, and it makes it better that I'm going to be, I can be in the changing room with my teammates, and we're all going to be like just buzzing off the excitement. After one comes back with the win, the next one, and I'm the last person. You know what I mean? And it's just like that home run, the last home run that you need to hit, and I'm ready for it, man.
For the younger fighters, the upcoming fighters, you've got a vast amount of experience, on the regional circuits here in the UK. How important was that for you developing to be the fighter you are today?
Me personally, it's allowed me to come to big events like this and still be relaxed and still go in there with confidence. Because a lot of people, this game can be a very pressuring game if you allow it to pressure you. But where I've traveled from a very young age, up and down the country, met loads of people, been in big crowds, it doesn't faze me in the same way that it may other people. And I've seen, some amazing talents in the gym, and they just can't quite convert it when it comes to that show. And I think that's the experience that I've generated has allowed me to be good in both areas. I can be confident in the gym and learn and grow, and then transfer that into the cage. And you see by my last fight submission win, how confident I was in even being falling in the situation. It's because I'm confident in the gym and confident enough to transfer it as well.
That's the key, transferring it into a pressure situation.
100%.
Cool. Good luck. Thanks.
Thank you, man.
What was your reaction to the UFC being bought for over $4 billion? I mean, seeing that much money being, pumped into the sport, promotion being bought, same value as Star Wars franchise.
Yeah.
I mean, what was your reaction to that?
No, I think as everybody else, everyone was like, wowed, but at the same time, same with, say, Brexit, what does it mean for everybody? Everyone's kind of sitting down like, okay, well, we know and understand the UFC that is of today, but now new owners are involved. What does that mean for UFC in general, and what does that mean for other MMA organizations and stuff? Is it an intimidating thing, or are they going to be more welcoming of other shows and be more cooperative and partnership? They could turn this the whole MMA industry into a massive force across the board of sports. It just depends on what it means. It's a shock, but we just have to find out, see what happens.
Sorry, once more, Mike, just tell me what it means to fight in London.
Again, fighting in London in front of my hometown, the excitement's there, the buzz is there, the electricity is there, and like I said, I'm just feeding off that energy, and I'm just going to put that back out and put on a crazy show. Just the noise. I'm just picturing it already. I went. I can't remember where I was telling this. I went to a Kevin Hart comedy show at the O2 Arena, and the whole time I was there, I was just picturing the cage, man. I was like, you know, just trying to soak it all in, because I had already found out that, you know, we were potentially going to be coming over here and doing this show. So I was literally sitting there just like visualizing the cage, looking around, like looking at the crowd, and just absorbing it already. So I'm already excited, man.